Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today I am back with Taylor Swift and we are now going to be listening to Folklore. I know this came sometime after Red, but most people did recommend that I should do Folklore next. Of course, it's also naturally Taylor's version, so that's great. I have heard that this one is sad, but just beautiful too, and just a bit more folky. Don't really know if I know anything else. I think that's all I really know. I tried to dress according. I don't know if this is passing or not, but I saw like a lot of the pictures were in like black and white, grayscale, very cottagecore, fairy-esque, you know, very natural and pretty. So that's why I went for this. I love this. Do you know what? I've had this since I was about 16 years old and I was a lot slimmer then, so this fit very baggy and it would be like a shoulder thing like that. But now I could still wear it, just not like off the shoulder, and it still fits like, it's like baggy, you know what I mean? It's not skin tight or anything. I wouldn't dream to put it on else, but I think it's really cute. It's got like little beads and flowers. And I got this the other day when I went shopping with my friend. I got it for £5 at a little market. I love it. I got another one too, which is a butterfly. I might wear that in another video, so I don't want to show it off. But yeah, I love this too. It's so cute. And I also did my makeup. I could have gone full in and done something really, really crazy. Or I could have gone completely minimal and done just a very natural look. But I thought I'd go the in-between and just do something like this. Very elegant and sweet. And I think it does fit the theme quite well, actually. And I dyed my hair today as well. Nothing extraordinary, just darker. Still got the purple in it, just a bit darker, a bit more, I don't know, mysterious. If you'd like to become a patron, please do. As most of you all know by now, most of my videos are demonetized on YouTube, naturally, with the type of content that I make. So if you'd like to join, you can join at the bottom tier and you can watch this video along with other videos uncut. There's also a middle tier where you can make song requests, and I do themes each month. And then there's a third tier, which is album requests. There might be a spot there right now. Not entirely sure. Yeah, it just helps out being a patron. Bottom tier is called the Love and Kindness tier, and that's exactly what it is. It's just very kind. And you also do get early access and uncut content, of course. If you can't do any of that, then please like the video, share the video, comment on the video, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy the video and would like to see more of me. Follow me on Instagram. I post lots of things over there. Pictures of my makeup looks, personal things, random things, silly things, whatever. I've also got a Discord so you can talk to like-minded people. Yeah, links for that will be in the description below. Okay, now let's get into it. It's going to be another long one, so I want to be able to get on with it and get in the zone. And yeah, and I'm premiering Red tonight. Not tonight for you, but tonight on the day I'm filming. So I don't want to miss the premiere. First song is called The One. Oh, I need to put my glasses on.
I'm doing good, I'm on some new shit. Been saying yes instead of no. You know the greatest films of all time were never made. I guess you never know, never know. And if you wanted me, you really should have showed. It's alright now, but we were something, don't you think so? Roaring 20s, tossing pennies in the pool. In my defense, I have none for never leaving well enough alone. But it would have been fun if you would have been the one. I had this dream you're doing cool shit, having adventures on your own. You meet some woman on the internet and take her home. We never painted by the numbers, baby, but we were making it count. You know the greatest loves of all time are over now. Guess you never know, never know. And it's another day waking up alone. But we were something, don't you think so? Roaring 20s, tossing pennies in the pool. It would have been you. In my defense, I have none for never leaving well enough alone. I persist and resist the temptation to ask you if one thing had been different. Would everything be different today? And it would have been sweet if it could have been me. In my defense, I have none. Ooh.
I could have quite happily listened to that all day. What a beautiful song. And I absolutely love the meshing of like a very beautiful, subdued kind of, low-key sound, relaxed voice, very like flowy, and with the little orchestral moments in there too. But then you've got that interesting drum with like the clacks of it. That's what I want to call it, like a clack, rather than hitting like a snare or something. It's got like the rim of a snare more than anything, but not even that. It's like a clack. It's a clack, okay? I like that. And then with the little interesting boop, 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 little like sort of rounded, smooth synth there that's just kind of making a little appearance, like very much just jabbing the track. Very nice, very, very, very nice. Her voice, of course, stunning. I've come to realise, like, as I've been, editing the Red video and whatever, I've come to realise like I'm very much a fan of her voice, and it's so, I don't know how to explain it, but it's quite rectangular. I know I said this in my video before, and I only said it about one song, but actually it's quite rectangular in a lot of ways. But this one was a little bit less rectangular. It was a little bit more loose. There was something to it that was a bit more like not giving a fuck as much, in the best way possible, just pouring it out of the heart, and just kind of, well, it's not even pouring out the heart, it's just like a kind of trail of thoughts. I like that. And the producer is Aaron Dessner. He's an American songwriter, producer, and instrumentalist, best known as a member of the rock band The National. Let's see what else, because I only saw a little preview. Okay. Aaron Dessner is an American songwriter, producer, and instrumentalist, best known as a member of the rock band The National and co-founder of Big Red Machine. He's collaborated with many artists including Taylor Swift, Van Etten, Michael Stipe, and more. Okay, cool. I don't know if I have actually heard of him before. Well, yeah, number one, the song seems to be about someone that she liked and hoped that they could be together, but I guess not, she's like, well, I guess not, maybe I thought wrong. Also, there was one bit that I really liked, the roaring 20s tossing pennies in the pool. When she said roaring 20s, at first I thought, is she talking about a whole different couple? Yeah, so we're about to have another Siri moment like on the last video, but this time it sounds a little bit different. And the reason it sounds a bit different is because when I recorded this video, I accidentally didn't record any of the music. Yeah, that was very annoying. So later that night, I recorded the whole album without pausing or anything like that. It was nice for me to listen to it anyway. I was actually falling asleep because I was so exhausted, and it was soothing me to sleep. But I managed to stay awake just to record it all. And then I had to put the album into, the editing project and sync it up with all the bits of the video. This isn't my first rodeo, but I haven't done that in a while, and yeah, it took a very long time to do, about an hour to fix it. But I think I've done it very, very seamlessly. You could be the judge of that, of course, but I'm really happy with it. Thank goodness that it all worked out in the end. But that is the reason why Siri, you only hear him quietly now, because I didn't screen record him talking to me, of course. But my camera picked it up in the headphones, so yeah. Siri incoming. Is she telling a story of someone else's life, talking about the... No, Siri.
I found this on the web for a she telling a story of someone else's life. Check it out.
Hey Siri, be gone.
Okay, I found this on the web for Be Gone. Check it out.
No. Hey Siri. Goodbye.
Until next time.
Oh, don't threaten me with a bad time. I don't want a next time, if I'm honest. Why does everything I say sound like I'm saying thou who shall not be named? Right, anyway, Roaring Twenties tossing pennies in the pool. Yeah, at first I thought she was saying a story, not SIRI, about other people and it being based in the 20s. But then I quickly realised maybe she's talking about her age. Or the Roaring Twenties 2020 was meant to be like a revival of the Roaring Twenties, but of course what actually happened was a worldwide pandemic. So that was interesting. So I'm thinking it might be that too. Taylor likens her lively and spirited relationship with her former lover to the institutions of the 1920s decade, a decade famously known as the Roaring Twenties for its extravagant artistic and social culture, including the peaks of several significant movements such as Jazz Age and Harlem Renaissance. Previously, Taylor made a similar comparison, This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things, of her life to the extravagance of Jay Gatsby's, who was fittingly the title character of the classic Roaring Twenties novel The Great Gatsby. That's from a song I don't know. Roaring Twenties may also take on a double meaning as a reference to the eventfulness of Taylor's 20s, like that's what I was saying, how she connected age and experience in her songs 15 and 22. Here Taylor hints at her hectic 20s, when everything she did was placed in a spotlight. Yeah, well, she's definitely in the spotlight as well now, isn't she? But it's different, in a different way. She's getting her flowers now a little bit more. Before she was very much criticised. Tossing pennies in the pool is also a very important line. Usually people throw pennies in fountains when they want something to happen. Yeah, like you throw pennies in a fountain when you're making a wish, don't you? But also, when did this album come out? It came out in 2020. So I'm having a feeling it is also about the 2020 in general. Maybe she had like a little love affair in that time, a little lockdown boyfriend, who knows? Well, you probably know, I don't know anything. But anyway, I just find it funny because like I remember on 2020 New Year's Eve we were all going to dress up as Roaring Twenties outfits because it was 2020, 100 years since the Roaring Twenties, like the start of the Roaring Twenties. So yeah, that's interesting too. I'm not going to go through every lyric, but I thought it was very beautiful. I enjoyed it very much and I wish I could. Do you know what I mean? I wish I could go through every lyric with you, talk about every detail, but I don't have all day. That's difficult. That's actually why I did. Remember when I did Lana Del Rey, if you've seen my videos before, if you've seen those videos before, my Lana Del Rey Zero Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard album reaction, I did them in a song each. Because as in like I made videos, I think I might have done 2 a video, or did I do 1 a video? I can't remember now. But yeah, I did it like a song or 2 at a time so I could really deep dive, because I do tend to ramble. But I think I get the idea of the song. And can't wait to hear it again in my own time as well. But I will read what is said here. On a conversation with Aaron Dessner for Folklore, the Long Pond studio sessions, they said this: "It was funny because I feel like you captured the spirit of the whole record with that song. With the one, in the sense of just the way it opens. I'm doing good, I'm on some new shit, been saying yes instead of no." And I was like, is she talking about writing songs with me and everything else at the same time or something? Taylor said, "I think it has a double meaning. Opening the album with those words, it applies to the situation that the song is written about, where you're updating a former lover and what your life is like now and trying to be positive about it. But it was also where I am creatively, where it's like, I'm just saying yes, I'm putting an album out in the worst time you could put one out. I'm just making stuff with someone who I always wanted to make stuff with, as long as I've been a fan of The National. I'm just going to say yes to stuff and it worked out." Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? It's sometimes like a really good way to get out of a funk is to change the way you do things. It's not necessarily doing the same thing and hoping it gets better, or enhancing things or developing or evolving things. Sometimes it is changing things. And if you're normally someone that says no, maybe you want to start saying yes and see what opportunities come from that. Saying yes is very adventurous. And in a way, I want to be saying yes to so many things now. I'm in an interesting part of my life where I'm going for a big change at the moment. But I do want to be a bit more adventurous and make more friends and so on like that. Because I've got lovely friends, but I can count them on one hand. You know what I mean? I could have easily had more friends, but I'm a bit of an introvert that can become an extrovert when I'm around people, but takes a lot for me to get around people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm trying to, I don't know, find ways of making new friends and getting out more and enjoying myself a little bit more. I don't know. It's hard to balance it all. It actually really is. But anyway, next one is called Cardigan. Let's go.
Vintage tea, brand new phone, high heels on, cobblestones. When you are young, they assume you know nothing.
That's kind of cool. I like, again, using a lot of field recordings. Oh, so you know when I was talking about the clacking before? The clacking sounded like a object outside of any instrument, right? I don't know if it was, but it sounded like one. Here, once again, we've got a field recording. A field recording is literally just a recording of sounds, an atmosphere, tapping a bottle, anything that isn't an instrument and recording your environment, basically. Here we are again with more of that. I wonder if we'll get a lot of that throughout the album. High heels on the cobblestones, and you can really hear that a little bit. It kind of sounds like that in the track. Also, I wanted to mention, I didn't wear my I'm wearing my glasses today. Didn't wear them last time. I never wear my glasses when I've got big long eyelashes on. I only wear them when I don't, even though I'm meant to be wearing them all the time, but shh. Ooh. What? These sounds!
Black lipstick, sensual politics. When you are young, they assume you know nothing.
True.
But I knew you, dancing in your Levi's, drunk under a street light. I knew
This is so Lana.
oh
my.
Felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed. You put me on and said I was your favorite.
Oh my god, don't. I'm already getting emotional. I've got chills.
When you are young, they assume you know nothing. But I knew you, playing hide and seek.
It gives me 90s as well, or early 2000s.
I knew you, your heartbeat on the high line, once in 20 lifetimes. An old cardigan.
I love it when she goes low with her voice.
You put me on and said I was your favorite.
The instrumental.
To kiss in cars and downtown bars was all we needed. You drew stars around my scars, but now I'm bleeding.
Oh, I'm freezing.
Stepping on the last train marked me like a bloodstain. I knew you tried to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy. Even like a father, running like water. When you are young, they assume you know nothing. I knew you'd haunt all over my weddings. The smell of smoke would hang around this long, 'cause I knew everything when I was young. Chasing shadows in the grocery line. I knew you'd miss me once the thrill expired, and you'd be standing in my front porch light. And I knew you'd come back to me, and you'd come back to me, and you'd come back. And when I felt like I was an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favorite.
Ooh, that guitar. Whatever it did. Ooh. Okay, we're getting into the album now. We're getting into it. That one felt like stronger than the first one, actually. Gosh, but I liked how the first one was the way it was, and this one came in hot, coming in second, you know, second the best. Woo! Those lyrics. Also, the sound. It reminds me of a song that is so not like this song, but it was a song that was so popular when we were like, when I was a kid. And it was like, I think it's called like F-U-U-Ho. or something. It's called FU I Don't Want You Back. Do you remember it? I know it seems a little bit like hilarious me relating it to this song, but whenever I hear like a kind of, if I hear like a chord structure that I is quite prominent, I'm always going to connect it to another song. It just my brain always references to familiar things. That's why I always say, oh, it sounds like this person, sounds like that, or you know. But anyway, I kept thinking it like halfway through when it got to like the third verse, I was like suddenly started thinking it, and I was like, oh no, that's a hilarious one to think of. But it goes, F what I said, it don't mean shit now. F all the presents, might as well throw them out. F all those kisses, they didn't mean jack. F you, you hoe, I don't want you back. And come on, isn't that just similar? It just is. I hope I don't think about that every time though, because it'll annoy me if I think about that every time. But I do love the song. It was absolutely stunning. I want to go for every lyric. I do. I'm just going to go through them and talk about the ones I really like. Because this song I really enjoyed. So I feel like, yeah, maybe I'll go into it a little bit more. Let's take these off while I do that. Give my ears some air. In general, when she says when you're young, they assume you know nothing, I don't know what context she's saying it in, but it's true in general. Like, people do assume young people don't know anything. So she's just making a statement as it is. Without the context, it's a statement, you know? But it seems like in verse 1, she is giving you what she looks like. Vintage tee, brand new phone, high heels on cobblestone. She's giving you a description of herself, I imagine. And then sequin smile, black lipstick, sensual politics. Is she going on a date, maybe? Like sequin smile, so like a shiny smile, something that's very dazzling. Black lipstick, so a little bit edgy. She's wearing a vintage tee as well, so she's kind of edgy looking. Sensual politics. That's interesting. That's what made me feel like she's on a date. Made me feel like she's talking about politics, but being a little bit flirtatious, talk about politics, maybe being flirtatiously debating or like something like that. I don't know, but I'll have a little look. Taylor had maintained a long-standing silence on political issues for the majority of her career. This changed in 2018 when she took a stand against a Republican candidate in her home state of Tennessee. The idea of playing central politics is twofold for Taylor. She shared her American sweetheart image for an emboldened female in charge of her own sexuality as explored during her Reputation era. I'm excited for that one, by the way. And my sister was telling me it was like her like kind of comeback sort of thing. Like people thought she was like dead and gone, and then she came back with like a vengeance with Reputation. So I'm really excited for that. Number 2, she became something of a feminist talking point in the music industry regarding her assault court case against a radio DJ, as well as her fight to her own masters in an industry soaked in toxic male privilege. She also expressed similar sentiments about being a woman in the music industry in the 2019 single The Man. Oh, okay. So Central Politics is also a reference to Sexual Politics by Kate Millay. Published in 1970, the book became a landmark feminist work that pointed out the ways in which women are subjugated and exploited through art and popular culture. Interesting. So I wonder what it means in the context of the song in this part. Maybe it doesn't. But she is definitely describing someone who's a little bit alternative, edgy, vintage tee, black lipstick, stuff like that. I don't know. Oh, and it feels like she might be talking about someone else, actually, because when it goes to chorus, it says, but I knew you. Dancing in your Levi's. Again, Levi's being kind of like a cool thing to wear. Drunk under a street light. I knew you. Hand under my sweatshirt. Baby, kiss it better. I'm a little bit lost in it, because is she talking about a woman here that she might have had like a intimate relationship with, or am I getting it a bit twisted? Okay, who knows? Who knows? Let me just carry on and see what I think after. And when I felt I was like an old cardigan under someone's bed, you put me on and said I was your favourite. Oh, just that line is so cute. Just felt like no one cared about her anymore or saw her even as attractive, because obviously an old cardigan is a cardigan that was once beloved, but now it's not. So there was something attractive about it in the first place until it wasn't anymore, and she felt like she was something and now she isn't something. But then this person put her on and said that she was that. Oh my god, this has got actually more meanings. You put me on and said I was your favourite. So you could think of that as the cardigan layer. You put me on like a cardigan and said I was your favourite. You know, you put me on to feeling good again. You put me on to you know, and what you're about, and put me in your life, and you loved me, and I feel like a favourite. But also it could be like you put me on, like you put my music on and said I was your favourite. Like it could almost be like a fan as well. Somebody who's such a fan of her music. A friend to all is a friend to none. Chase two girls, lose the one. So a friend to all is a friend to none, which is true. I agree with that very much so. I'm not saying that you can't have lots of friends, but you're spread very thin, I would say. Chase two girls, lose the one. Oh, maybe chasing two girls, like going down, like talking to two girls at a time in a romantic way, but you end up losing them both, probably, and you never know, because one of them might have been the one, you know? I don't know, like the one, like she was mentioning in the song before, the one, you know, the one and only. Lose the One is also a nod to the album's opening track, The One. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, not too much. Oh, furthermore, Swift also explained in a live chat the night of Folklore's release. There's a collection of 3 songs I refer to as the Teenage Love Triangle. These 3 songs explore a love triangle from all 3 people's perspectives at different times in their lives. Okay, the plot thickens. Yeah, so it is someone talking to 2 girls. But I knew you, playing hide and seek and giving me your weekends. I knew you, your heartbeat on the High Line once in 20 lifetimes. What's the High Line mean? Like a city High Line. Okay. A New York Central Railroad trail. Okay. Your heartbeat on the High Line. So maybe like just going very fast. I don't know. But playing hide and seek and giving me your weekends is interesting, because it's like only gets to see this person on the weekend, because he is with another girl during the week. Yeah, I don't know about the High Line thing, but beats fast, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Then the bridge says, to kiss in cars and downtown bars was all we needed. You drew stars around my scars, but now I'm bleeding. I love that. You drew stars around my scars. It's like saying, you know, you made them, my scars, my wounds, my pain, you made them bright like a star. You shone light onto them. But now I'm bleeding, because now it's all fallen apart. I'm bleeding again. The stars are being erased, and my wounds are opening. That's just so good. I don't know if everything I'm going to say is going to tie the story in. I'm just really looking at lines and seeing what I think, and then hopefully in the about section there will be more context for me. And then she says, tried to change the ending. Peter losing Wendy. I knew you, leaving like a father, running like water. And when you're young, they assume you know nothing. Yeah, so going back to like the High Lines heart thing, it feels like this man is always on the run. Like he's always like, he's get up and go, but moving from one thing to another. Kind of hedonistic, actually. Kind of going for the next best thing. A friend to all is a friend to none. I know so many people like that. I've attracted a lot of friends that are like that in my life, who, you know, I enjoyed back in the day when I used to go out more. Maybe I was a bit of a friend like that myself. Yeah, as time goes on, you start realising they don't really make a lot of time for you, because you kind of catch them when you can. Otherwise they are just, I don't know, doing their own thing, being friends to everyone, you know? But yeah, try to change the ending, Peter losing Wendy, a Peter Pan reference. I like the leaving like a father. That's interesting. I don't know whether it like she can relate to that or if it's just like that kind of stereotype of fathers that leave, you know, and don't stick around for the kids. And obviously when I say stereotype, I'm saying that because not all fathers do that and some mothers do that. Yeah, not entirely sure. It's saying lots of things that I don't understand, if I'm honest. It's saying stuff like there's someone called Betty. I don't even know who Betty is yet. And who's James? Guys, are you sure I should have done folklore next? Because I feel like there's a lot of lore that I'm not understanding. Well, anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, I also like that she says running like water as well. Another thing that is just running constantly on the move. I knew you'd haunt all of my what ifs. Basically, that part of you that goes, what if it went like this? What if it went like that? But all the time she has those what if moments is about this person. And then she says, because I knew everything when I was young. I knew I'd curse you for the longest time. Chasing shadows in the grocery line. Oh. I knew you'd miss me once the thrill expired. And you'd be standing in my front porch light. And I knew you'd come back to me. You'd come back to me. You'd come back. So it's like this person literally did end up coming back to her. God, let me look at the about section. What have I done? I've just got my brain in a tangle now. Loved the sound of the song, and now I'm like, what the is this about? Okay, accompanied by the release of her project, written and recorded during a lockdown due to COVID-19, Cardigan is the lead single from Taylor Swift's eighth studio album, Folklore. Its music video, which was written and directed by Taylor and shot during the pandemic, finds Taylor shifting through different places by the magic of playing the piano. She revealed in a tweet that everyone who was on set took extra precautions to prevent the spread of the virus. Yeah. The entire shoot was overseen by Siri. Goodbye, do not do this. Goodbye, Siri. Turn off. Goodbye. I don't know what I'm doing. This doesn't happen just all the time. It's just every time I'm doing a Taylor album, so it seems. Oh, God. Right, anyway. The entire shoot was overseen by a medical inspector. Everyone wore masks. Yeah. We don't care. I want to know who the hell this song is about. Cardigan is believed to be the first part of Folklore's teenage love triangle, told from the point of view of Betty. The storyline is followed by August and Betty. Swift explained in a live chat the night of Folklore's release. There's a collection of 3 songs referred to as a... Yeah, I read that. Okay, so hang on. Let me just get this right. The song is not about Taylor, it's about 2 other lovers, Betty and August. I swear I saw the name James somewhere. She also said the song is about a lost romance and why young love is often fixed so permanently within our memories. Oh my God, I know. Why it leaves such an indelible mark. She elaborated on BBC Radio 1. This is a song that's about long lost love and looking back on it and how special it made you feel, all the good things it made you feel, or the pain that it made you feel. Yeah. I actually, more than just young love and how it has an impactful feeling, teenagehood and early 20s, right? Some of your most strongest memories come from those times, because in those times there are a lot of firsts, right? So I think they stick with you, especially things like love, of course, and pain. Okay, so, right, I think I get it. Right, moving on. I said I wasn't going to go on forever, and here I am, going on for a million years. Well, it's hard. I can't really zoom through it when it's actually kind of like complex. You know what I mean? I can't really just go, oh yeah, like that. It's about this. The end. Moving on. The last great American dynasty.
Rebecca rode up on the afternoon train. Her salt box house on the coast took her mind off St. Louis. Bill was the heir to the Standard Oil name. The town said, how did a middle-class divorcee do it? The wedding was charming if a little gauche must have been her fault, his heart gave out. And they said, there goes the last great American dynasty. Who knows if she never showed up, what could have been? She had a marvelous time, ruining everything. Rebecca gave up on the Rhode Island set forever. Flew in all her bitch pack friends from the city, filled the pool with champagne and swam with the big names and blew through the money on the boys and the ballet.
Sounds great.
There goes the last great American dynasty. She had a marvelous time, ruining everything. They say she was seen on occasion, pacing the rock, staring out at the midnight sea. And in a feud with her neighbor, she stole his dog and died at Key Lime Green. Holiday house side, quietly on that beach, free of women with madness, the men in bad habits, and then it was bought by me.
Wow, is this true?
Who knows if I never showed up, what could have been? I had a marvelous time, ruining everything. I had a marvelous time, ruining everything. I had a marvelous time.
Wow, okay. So yeah, it sounds like a story of a couple who lived in this house and had parties and had a great time, and the wedding was charming. If a little gauche, there's only so far new money goes. I love that little like detail as well as new money, not old money, and just seeing it like you can really picture it. It's so clever, actually. He picked out a home and called it a holiday house. The parties were tasteful, if a little loud. The doctor had told him to settle down. It must have been her fault, his heart gave out. That's interesting. Like, I'm like, is it her fault, or was it just as much his fault? Why is it her fault? You know what I mean? Or is that just what the town decided? They decided to blame her. And they, yeah, because then it goes, and they said, there goes the last American dynasty. Who knows if she never showed up, what could have been? Yeah, there goes the maddest woman this town has ever seen. She had a marvellous time ruining everything. Yeah, that's what I thought. I feel like it's a little bit sexist, with the last song kind of touching on Taylor being a bit more of a feminist nowadays. Feels like this song ties in with that a little bit. So yeah, interesting. And then she gave up the Rhode Island set forever, flew in all her bitch pack friends from the city, filled the pool with champagne, so had a great time basically. But then yeah, it feels like there goes a last great American dynasty is now about the woman, Rebecca, right? Maybe Rhode Island was very judgy, so she moved somewhere where it was less judgy, but she partied too hard herself and ended up maybe passing away, or I don't know, something happening. Who knows if she never showed up, what could have been? There goes the most shameless woman this town has ever seen. She had a marvellous time ruining everything. Who knows? Maybe she passed away or just disappeared. The bridge says they say she was seen on occasion, pacing a rock staring at the midnight sea. So that to me sounds like she could be a ghost. You know what I mean? Like maybe not, but it feels like she's a ghost pacing a rock staring out at the midnight sea, only seen now and then, you know what I mean? However, it then says, and in a feud with her neighbour, she stole his dog and died at Key Lime Green. So maybe she's just like a lady somewhere hiding, you know, and it's almost as if she is a ghost because she's so well hidden and only pops out now and then. She's a rare sight. But the fact that she died at Key Lime Green would be absolutely hilarious, but she might not have done it, you know? 50 years is a long time. Holiday house sat quietly on that beach, free of women with madness, their men and bad habits. And then it was bought by me. So I'm like, wait, is this a true story? Did Taylor buy a house and this is the history that came with it? Swift purchased the Rhode Island holiday house for $17.75 million in 2013. So quite a while ago, 10 years. Here she embraces the history of the house, as well as her and Rebecca's controversial reputations. She explained this switch in a narrative. Oh my god, I love how the fact that she heard this history of this house And then years and years and years later, she decided to write a song about that history. And it fits so perfectly for this album. I feel like that's a very poetic person to think of that. That's a real songwriter. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like songwriters are always jotting down lyrics or thinking up things that could work well in a song and so on like that. But yeah, I like how she likened herself to Rebecca in the end as well. And she said, I had a marvellous time ruining everything. I don't know, I think it's kind of cute, actually. It's like she feels a connection to the history of the house, and I think that's perfect. But yeah, I'm going to move on. We've now got Exile feat. Bon Iver.
I can see you standing, honey.
That's a deep voice.
With his arms around your body, laughing, but the joke's not funny at all.
Wow.
I think I've seen this film before.
Oh, I think I've heard this.
I didn't like the ending.
I've not heard the whole song, I just know that.
And now you were my town. Now I'm in exile, seeing you out.
I can see you staring, honey, like he's just your understudy, like he'd get your knuckles bloody for me, balancing on breaking branches, those eyes add insult to injury. I think I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending.
She sounds so good.
Who am I offending now? You were my crown. Now I'm in exile, seeing you out. I'm leaving out the side door.
So step right out. There is no amount of cry I can do for all this time.
You didn't even hear me
You never
out.
gave a warning
I
sign.
gave so many signs. I gave so many signs.
She sounds stunning, the clarity.
Didn't even see the signs. I think I've seen this film before, and I didn't like the ending. You're not my homeland anymore, so what am I defending now? I think I've seen this film before, so I'm leaving out the side door.
So step right out of crying I can do for all this time. We always walked a very thin line. You didn't even hear me out. You never gave a warning sign. You never gave a warning sign. I never let you read your mind. I couldn't turn things around. You never gave a warning sign.
Very pretty. Yeah, so I really like that song. I'm not entirely sure on this Bon Iver's voice. I like that he's got a low voice, but I don't love the tone of it. Maybe it just feels a little cheesy. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. What is it with me when she collaborates with men? Well, I like the Ed Sheeran one from Red. I think it's because when I hear her voice come in, I'm like, kind of wish the whole song was just her singing. He did sound great. How can I say it? He didn't sound bad at all. It just wasn't my type of sound and not my type of voice. I don't know. Maybe in other songs that he does, he sounds better, greater, like more fitting. But I don't know. I'm not really into it. There were moments of the song where I felt like, oh my God, this is so good. But it could border on corny. But it didn't quite. It still fit very well because I love I think I've seen this film before, so I'm leaving out the side door. When she says it, so I'm leaving out the side door, it's got really a lot of emotion in it. So I loved that. I'm definitely not going to go into the lyrics of this one because we're already an hour in. Well, I am an hour in. It just says, Exile describes two ex-lovers seeing each other following a breakup. Justin Vernon describes feelings of confusion and how Quickly, a lover moved on while Swift offers a perspective about repeated warning signs that the relationship was no longer working. It's also worth noting the contrast between Vernon's rougher voice and Swift's smoother voice, which mirrors the contrast between their views of the relationship. Yeah, I agree. I definitely liked that. Like, I was thinking it at the time, like, the clarity of her voice when it comes in is so lovely, and I really did feel it in contrast to his voice, which I thought they sounded great together. But still, I don't know. Something was just doing something, and I was in my heart that couldn't let me lean fully into it. I would love it if I could hear her do it on her own. Absolutely no offence to Justin at all. Obviously, he's got a great singing voice and probably an impeccable career, so no harm done by me. The song prompted many comparisons to Swift's 2000 track, The Last Time. It did. It also had lots of building moments and crescendo moments and canon and overlapping of vocals and stuff like that. So they were similar. Exile is one of many folklore songs to contain a movie motif. Other songs to do so include The One, This Is Me Trying, and Hoax. It's also her first collaboration with Bon Iver, who she called one of her musical heroes in an Instagram post announcing Folklore. Very good. Well, isn't that lovely that she got to sing with one of her heroes? Oh, gosh. I can't even imagine, growing up, looking up to someone, loving them, and then one day you're famous enough to be able to sing with them. Like, that must be... Well, obviously it's something that you and I probably have never experienced. So it's hard to even fathom, but I can imagine it being an ecstatic and euphoric moment. Next one's called My Tears Ricochet. Okay, loving the title. Let it be a great song.
We gather here, we line up, weeping in a sunlit room. And if I'm on fire, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me? 'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you, till my dying day.
Wow, she's using so much of her deep tones and I love it.
Have it in myself to go with grace. And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet.
Wow. Ooh, getting orchestral.
We gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean. Some to throw, some to make a diamond ring. You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. 'Cause when I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave. Why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet. And I can go anywhere I want, just not home.
Oh my god!
And I still talk to you. I'm sleeping in the sky. And when you can't sleep at night, you hear my stolen lullaby.
Oh my
I
lord.
didn't have it in myself to go with grace. And so the battleships will sink beneath the waves. You had to kill me, but it killed you just the same. And you're tossing out blame, drunk on this pain, crossing out the good years. Look at how my tears ricochet.
That's gotta be a favourite so far. Second song and this one, faves. Such brilliant songwriting. And just the way it sounded, and I love that the drums came in, gave it a little bit more impact. So good. I really love the production on this record. So different to Red, I feel. Oh, okay, so this one does have Jack Antonoff on it and Joe Alwyn. Who's Joe Alwyn? Sorry, I like to know. I like to know these things. Joe Alwyn, born 21st of February 1991, is an English actor and songwriter. He has starred in films such as Billy Lynn's Long Half-Time Walk, The Favourite, and Mary Queen of Scots. Originally working under the pseudonym of William Bowery, he was initially credited on 6 songs from the 8th album of his former partner, American singer Taylor Swift. Oh, isn't this the guy she was married to? I heard that she was married to someone called Joe for 6 years. I get all this information from my sister and I only get tidbits. So anyway, since the release of Folklore, speculation surrounding William Bowery's identity surfaced until Swift herself confirmed the person behind the pseudonym was Alwyn during her concept film. The reason he wanted to use a pseudonym, it says here, he said, "We chose to do it so people first and foremost would listen to the music first before dissecting the fact that we did it together. We did it under the name William Bowery, which sounds very fancy, like an Agatha Christie character who should be wearing a monocle with a big moustache. But it's a combination of William, who's my great-grandfather, who I never actually met and was a composer. He wrote a lot of classical music and a lot of film scores. And then Barry, which is an area in New York that I spent a lot of time in when I first went over there." Yeah, okay, so that's her ex-husband. I don't know much about him, okay? Well, I don't know anything about him, actually. Did ask my sister, and she said there's a song on Midnights, but it's like a bonus track that only some people have heard. Like, it's not on, like, the track listing. It's, like, on, like, album, like physical copies. That one that's about him. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know, okay? Swift shared via Instagram that My Tears Ricochet is about an embittered tormentor showing up at the funeral of his fallen object of obsession. She revealed in a YouTube live chat that it was the first song she wrote for Folklore. Some fans believe it connects to Swift's personal life as well, with the song really being about Scott Borchetta's betrayal of Swift when she left Big Machine Records for Republic. In addition, on August 2017's Look What You Made Me Do, Swift infamously proclaimed that old Taylor is dead. The prominent funeral imagery makes it sound like Swift may be mourning this metaphorical murder. Oh, interesting. I might have a little skim through. Get my ears some air, some oxygen. Definitely feels like, you know, she's upset with someone. She says, "Even on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me, because I loved you. I swear I loved you till my dying day." I thought the whole dying thing was a metaphor the whole time, but now if she's really just telling a story and it is kind of her singing from the grave, so to speak, that's interesting, because it makes you wonder why she died in this story. But I think it does tie very closely to a metaphor more than anything. This person obviously wasn't a good person. They gave her hell when she didn't deserve it. And then the chorus, "I didn't have to have it in myself to go with grace." And I like that because it's like a state of grace, referring to that in the Red album, I feel. And she was in a state of grace at that point, but this one, she's like, "I didn't have it in myself to go with grace." And it's like, and you're the hero flying around saving face, when actually, you know, it's sarcastic. He's not a hero. He's acting like a hero, but he's not a hero. He's actually the villain. "And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake? Cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet." I love that. It's like, all the times you have made me cry, curled up in tears, bawling my eyes out, and you didn't care. And now look who's crying. Look who's crying now, bitch! Damn. Such a cool lyric. Look at how my tears ricochet. Oh my god, it's so good, because it's like aggressive, fancy, visceral, emotive, poetic, of course. It's just so good. We gather stones, never knowing what they'll mean. Some to throw, some to make a diamond ring. That kind of relationship where you just don't know whether you're here or there or here. One minute we're loving each other, next minute we're not. That toxicity. and so on. You know, I didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly scene. You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me. It feels like a ghost in general. She is a ghost, but it's like a ghostly scene, seeing him wear the jewels that she gave him, even though it was probably his fault she died, according to the song. There's a detachment there that feels ghostly. You know, when someone's being a ghost, it's like they're detached. Why is he wearing the jewels, acting like it was all sunshine and rainbows when really it was very dark? And this bit, because when I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave. That's interesting, because when I first heard that, listening to the song, I was like, ooh, because it felt a little bit like threatening, being in a fight, and it's like, ooh, you're brave, aren't you? You know, that's very threatening. It just gives you a very good insight of what this relationship was like. In the bridge, and I can go anywhere I want, just not home. That line hits me on like an interesting level, because I just love that saying anyway, even though it's so annoying. Well, it just makes you think of being young, going to the pubs and you'll be lingering outside and I'm like, go on, move on, you can go anywhere you want, just not here. I don't know, that kind of rings in my ears a little bit. Obviously here it's like, I can go anywhere I want, just not home. She is now like a ghost and she can float around everywhere, but now she doesn't have home. Oh, it says here as well, by home, Taylor may be referring to how she can no longer return to her original musical home, Big Machine Records. Big Machine Records remains the home where all her records. Oh, okay, so it could also be that as well. I'll go anywhere I want, I just can't go home to where all her music is. And then it says here, and you can aim for my heart, go for blood, but you'll still miss me in your bones. And if we're still talking about that record label, that's interesting too, you know. Oh my god, there's so many different things it could be about. It's funny because as I'm editing, I know I mentioned earlier that someone said this song could also be referring to Scott and the record label and everything that went down. And I read that in the video, but must have like pushed it aside. Some fans believe it connects to Swift's personal life as well, with the song really being about Scott Borchetta's betrayal of Swift when she left Big Machine Records for Republic. And I made it about like a relationship in my head rather than, you know, it's still a relationship, but I mean like a romantic relationship in my head, instead of it being about the record label and all of that. I just like forgot about it. So I'm watching this back and being like, yeah, we already talked about the fact that it could be about that. I think it's because obviously it was just a theory as well from someone, and I didn't know much about the situation yet in the album reaction. I obviously know a lot more now, as you will see throughout the video. I start knowing more and more and more. So I kind of push that thought aside, and I like to do that anyway, so I have a blank canvas, so I just say what I think and feel about the lyrics without any influence from anyone else and so on. So yeah, I don't know if I even needed to explain this, but I don't know, I have now. Hope it, you know, I don't know, makes sense to you. And I still talk to you when I'm screaming at the sky, and when you can't sleep at night, you'll hear my stolen lullabies. Oh, yes! That really, lack of a better saying, that really hits the nail in the coffin. It does though, doesn't it? It very much makes sense. You hear my stolen lullabies. Yeah, that is telling. I like that. Very on the nose. You turned into your worst fears and you're tossing out blame, drunk on this pain, crossing out the good years, and you're cursing my name, wishing I stayed. Ooh, now I just really think it's about the big music man person. What was it? Big Machine Records. Big music man. Wow, yeah, I definitely feel that now. Okay, right, anyway, moving on, we've got mirrorball. That's interesting, mirrorball. Kind of makes me think of the word miserable. But also makes you think of a disco ball, you know? Let's go. Oh, very, very Boy Genius, Phoebe Bridgers vibes.
I'll show you every version of yourself tonight.
That's cool.
And when I break it's in a million pieces, hush
vocal. I can't tell if her vocal is got a chorus effect on it, which gives the presence of a widthier vocal, or maybe sometimes more than one vocal, like a doubled vocal, or it's doubled and just very, very nicely mixed. You know, I don't know, but it really gives it that kind of width in the voice.
On my tallest tiptoes,
Yeah, it feels like
spinning in
she's
my
doubled it.
highest heels, love, shining just for you. I want you to know I'm a mirrorball. I can change everything about me to fit in. Drunk as they watch my shattered edges glisten. Hush when no one is around, my dear.
Alright, sorry, I'm pausing again, but I've just had a theory. All those vocals sounding so spread and like there's many, but all very close together, very much reminds me of a disco ball. She was talking about the images. I could see every part of you in the disco ball, whatever. I'll go into lyrics after, but you know what I mean? How it captures the frames almost. And it feels like you could see her face in all the different frames, and that's what's creating this very almost choral sound. Not overly choral, but very minimal choral and densely choral. Do you know what I mean? I hope you do, because it's so profound to me.
Hush, I know they said the end is near, but I'm still on my tallest tiptoes.
The music's interesting. It like drowns in and out.
Shining just for you. When they called off the circus, burn the disco down, I'm still on that tightrope. I'm still trying everything to get you laughing at me. Have never been a natural. All I do is try. I'm still on that trapeze. I'm still trying everything to keep you looking at me, because I'm a mirrorball. I'm a mirrorball. I'll show you every version of yourself.
That's what I was trying to say.
Tonight.
All the different versions within like the disco ball, mirror ball, which she likes to call it, of course, is pretty much the same thing, but all the different versions in the tiny little rectangles, you know, the little parts of the mirror. So that's really cool. Oh God, the songwriting on this one, quite phenomenal. Quite phenomenal. God, I want to go through that one. It doesn't seem overly complicated, but it is very impactful, so I really want to talk about it. I want you to know I'm a mirrorball. I'll show you every version of yourself tonight. That's so cool. I love that she's referring to herself as the mirrorball, and she can show them all the versions of herself, like, because she'll ignite the different versions. She'll bring out the worst and the best in someone, basically, and that not in a bad way, just in a way where that's how it happens. That's just how it will be. Maybe she's also someone that's very good at getting real feelings out of people as well. Or if she's the mirrorball, she'll show every version of yourself tonight. Maybe she's saying she will kind of mirror their attitude or their actions and so on. Maybe she's a bit of a chameleon. But then she says, I'll get you out on the floor shimmering beautiful, and when I break, it's in a million pieces. Okay, so she'll get them out on the floor, so she'll bring them out of their bubble, make them feel amazing, shimmering and beautiful. But when I break, so when she breaks, it's in a million pieces. It's not just a few pieces, it's a million. She really breaks hard when she feels like brokenhearted or hurt. It really is a lot, something like that. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, it's like she feels things to the extreme. She is either partying and bringing people out their shell and having the best time ever, or, you know, if she breaks, it breaks into a million pieces. She could be the lowest of the low, feeling like the worst of the worst, maybe gets angry and over emotional. And yeah, again, I will go over it quickly, but her voice, because of it feeling so layered and so many moments, I could almost see her voice in all the different parts of the mirrorball, as I could see many Taylor faces in the mirrorball. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, Very cool. Yeah, mirrorball or disco ball is a spherical mirror covered object which typically hangs above the dance floor, reflect light, blah. I know what it is. I can't bother to click it and read it. I'm just going to keep going with my own thoughts, okay? Hush, when no one is around, my dear. You'll find me on my tallest tiptoes, spinning in my highest heels. Love shining just for you. It's almost like she's saying her tallest tiptoes to make sure that she is seen by this person. You know what I mean? She is really making herself seen. She's not hunching in a ball. She is literally being like, I'm here, spinning in her highest heels. So also just like, you know, showing off as well. I know they say the end is near, but I'm still on my tallest tiptoes, spinning in my highest heels, shining just for you. So they say, maybe people around say that this relationship won't last long, but she ain't listening. She is still just trying to show him who she is and get all of their attention. This goes on like what I was saying in the start. I want you to know in my mirrorball, I can change everything about me to fit in. Yes, so she can mirror people. She can adapt to certain situations. You are not like the regulars, the masquerade revelers, drunk as they watch my shattered edges glisten. Oh, okay, so she's saying you are not like the normal type who watch me and, you know, kind of gaze at me and revel at what I'm doing. You see me differently. It says here, this references the build-up of feuds and negative media attention that forced Swift to go into hiding at the end of 2016. Okay, so it's like how other people watched her and sort of watched and ate popcorn and laughed as she was going through some of the worst times in 2016. And this song could be about her husband Joe, her ex-husband now, but husband at the time Joe, who she feels, you know, looked at her differently, saw past all of that and saw her as the real woman she is, you know. However, Swift describes the subject of Mirrorball, likely her then boyfriend Joe Alwyn, as being caring and sympathetic when no one else was. Yeah, okay, very cool. Okay, the bridge. Oh, this bit was so good. It says, and they called off the circus, burned the disco down, when they sent home the horse and the rodeo clowns. I'm still on that tightrope. I'm still trying everything to get you laughing at me. And I'm still a believer, but I don't know why. I've never been a natural. All I do is try. I'm still on naturopathy. I'm still trying everything to keep you looking at me. So that could be about Joe, or it could be about fame in general and keep her fans. She's trying to keep her fans, and she's trying to, even when she just wants to run away and hide and, you know, she wants to just disappear and chaos is erupting, she is still showing her face. She's still on that tightrope, trying to be someone you can look up to as well, and trying to balance her life between the public eye and privacy, still trying to please everybody, and so on like that. I love when she says, I've never been a natural, all I do is try. I relate to that so much. I feel like I'm not a natural at anything. All the things I do is because I try. But the saddest thing about that is that it's not true either, because she's naturally good at singing. She's naturally good at so many things. She's naturally good at songwriting by the looks of it. She's naturally good at a lot of things, but when you feel that way about yourself, it can be hard. And also being natural at something doesn't mean you don't try either, but when you don't feel like a natural at something, you try harder. I feel like, yeah, what I was trying to say is she's trying to do everything in her power to stay relevant and go with the times, go with the flow, be famous for her music and who she is amongst all the chaos. And she's saying it's not easy, basically. She's saying it's difficult and it's not something that comes naturally. It's something she has to try at. Right, beautiful song. Now we've... Oh, actually, Swift discussed this song in Folklore, the Long Pond studio session. She said, in Folklore, there are a lot of songs that reference each other or lyrical parallels, and one of the ones I like is the entire song This Is Me Trying, then being referenced again in Mirrorball. Oh, I love that she's got a song called This Is Me Trying, when I felt like that was one of the most powerful lines. Love that. Then being referenced again in Mirrorball, it also is the first time and one of the only times that the time that we're living through is actually lyrically addressed. I think that, you know, the pandemic and lockdown and all that runs through this album like a thread, because it's an album that allows you to feel your feelings, and it's a product of isolation. Oh, that is profound. I love that. It's like a thread running through the album. And you know, with me, a very visceral person, I will literally see that. I'll see the colours that this album has given me so far and a thread running through that. That's interesting. This is the first time in a bridge saying they called off the circus, burned the disco down when they sent home the horses and the rodeo clowns. I wrote the song right after I found out all my lover shows were cancelled. So it's like I realised here I am writing all this music, still trying. Okay, so she wrote that line. It was chaos when all those things were cancelled, but she was still trying to give the fans what they want. Okay, I get it. Oh my god, I feel like I'm doing maths. Produced by Jack Antonoff, Taylor Swift. Very lovely. Alright, now we've got 7. We've still got so much to go through, guys. And I've already nearly recorded for 2 hours again. If I can't get through it all today. You know what? I'll give myself an hour. And if I'm not done in that time, then I might have to pick it up again. Or maybe I'll give myself an hour and a half. Alright, whatever. 7. And it's on track 7. Track 7 is called 7. Do that again.
Please picture me. Please picture me.
Did she do a little trill? Or she's just going picture. It's so subtle.
Please picture me.
Yeah.
In the trees.
Very subtle.
My peak at 7 over the creek. I was too scared to jump in.
Just want to mention as well, she's singing, please picture me in the trees. I hit my peak at 7. She's singing with a very open tone, but very aspirate at the same time. If it was a nasally tone, but aspirate at the same time, it would go, please picture me. It's aspirate but nasally, but she's got very, so it's got more of like the throat is literally more open than it all being up in the nasally, more up in the palate, you know what I mean? Up in the, rather than it being up there, it's very, if she was to push it in a certain way, it could be operatic, but of course it's not. It's very soft and aspirate. Yeah, sorry. Just had to talk about it because it's interesting when she does something different with her voice like this. I think it's cool.
With Pennsylvania under me.
Actually gives her more of a Phoebe Bridgers tone.
Are there still beautiful things? Sweet tea in the summer, cross your heart, won't tell no other.
Okay, that's very Lana.
I can't recall your face.
And I love this. I love the I'll go back to the start of that bit. But I love, like, when I say it's like Lana, or it's like, you know, I've heard Olivia Rodrigo styles, I've heard Billie Eilish moments, Phoebe Bridgers, Lana Del Rey. Of course I love it. I love all those girls, so I'm not going to be sad about that, am I? Taylor's way of doing it still, so it's completely different at the same time. It just excites me because, yes, I love all the people I'm thinking it sounds like. So, yeah, it's a compliment.
Sweet tea in the summer, cross your heart, won't tell no other. And though I can't recall your face, I still got love for you. Your braids like a pattern, love you to the moon and to Saturn. Passed down like folk songs, the love lasts so long.
Oh, it's got a little bit of soul in there, you know. The instrumental has a lot of freedom. Feels... Can't believe I'm going to pause again. I can't believe it. But if the instrumental feels like if you put it through a whole new kind of makeover, yeah, but with the same things going on, it could actually be like a big dance track. You know what I mean? You can hear like the drums, some kind of like drum and bass, or just like a really heavy like beat, you know, but very lively and freedom. Like feels like freedom. You can imagine a big DJ set around it. Sorry, that's so random, but like, you know, I can almost imagine like a Fatboy Slim sort of style song, you know. We came a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. So you think about it, that bit's got kind of soul to it, and it's got like the brightness. And then it goes into like what it does, you know, like kind of dance track. I feel like this one could do that. Not saying it will, and I definitely don't imagine it will, but it definitely has the vibe.
I think your house is haunted, your dad is always mad, and that must be why. And I think you should come live with me, and we can be pirates, then you won't have to cry. Or hide in the closet, and just like a folk song, our love will be passed on.
That is so pretty.
In the weeds, before I learned civility, I used to scream.
Wow.
Cross my heart, won't tell no other. And though I can't recall your face, I still got love for you. Pack your dolls in a sweater, we'll move to India forever. Pass down like folk songs, our love lasts so long.
Wow, I love this. Oh, it's so pretty. I feel like that might be a fave too. Something about the way it felt. Love it. Obviously, moving on from the fact that I thought it could be a massive dance song. I love it for what it was. I don't, you know, I'm not saying it should have been that. I'm just saying the chords had freedom. I don't know, I explain things weirdly sometimes. You know, if I say it felt like freedom, it's a feeling and it doesn't make a lot of sense. There's probably some sense you can make to it, but I'm not smart enough to make that sense. But what the hell? What the hell was this song about? I need to have a look at the about section. This song is about one of Taylor's childhood friends who seemed to have had unhappy life at home. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Taylor reflects back on her innocence back then, how she thought that their problems could be easily solved. Yeah, okay. Oh, are they still friends? This is reminiscent of the song It's Nice to Have a Friend from August 2019's Lover album, which talks about a childhood friend that Taylor grows up with and eventually marries. Literally or figuratively? Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Not going to go deep into it, don't feel the need to. Love that song though. Sorry I paused so much. There's just so much to say. I can't wait to listen to it without pausing though. Spin it till you whip it into a cream, baby, print it into black and white pages. I don't know, I'm missing words. Okay, now we have got August.
Salt air and the rust on your door. I never needed anything.
The difference of her voice here, I can't believe I'm pausing again, aren't I? Ah, whatever. You know, I'm here to give my opinion. So, you know, that's what fair use of using this stuff is all about anyway, not to just sit there and bob my head. So, yeah, obviously I need to be alright with the fact that I'm pausing now and then, you know? And if you're not alright with it, then don't watch my older videos because I paused way more. Her voice here, just so different. I don't even remember what fucking melody goes like, but very, very much more like, that rather than, I feel like she used that open tone because it helped her with doing little trills and little run things. Ooh. You know, it gave her a bit more looseness, I guess, to move her voice around in those ways. Whereas this more tone is a bit more straight. Right, anyway, going back to start.
I never needed anything more.
cute.
And I can see us twisted in bed sheets, targets slipped away like a bottle of wine. 'Cause you were never mine.
Wow.
When you're back at school.
Oh, it's a story. It's a love affair story.
But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time. 'Cause it was never mine. 'Cause you were never mine. Back when we were still changing for the better, wanting was enough. For me, it was enough. Cancel plans just in case you call and say meet me behind the mall. So much for summer love and saying us, 'cause you weren't mine to lose. But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment in time.
The acoustic.
It was never mine.
Am I crazy? Did I hear an acoustic? Wait.
And I can see us twisted in bed sheets. August slipped.
Now the drum that sounded like the strum of like a very raw acoustic guitar, but I think it's just the drum. I like that. It's very stripped back.
Into a moment in time. 'Cause it was never
I don't know. I can't tell now.
'Cause you were never mine. Never mine. Remember when I pulled up and said get in the car, and then canceled my plans just in case you called. Back when I was living for the hope of it all, for the hope of it all. Meet me behind the mall. Remember when I pulled up and said get in the car, and then canceled my plans just in case you called. Back when I was living for the hope of it all.
Oh my fucking god. There definitely is a little acoustic there, plucking away. I love that electric guitar though. God, it's surfy. Oh, don't end. It's too beautiful. Something to do with this Jack Antonoff again, isn't it? It's gotta be. Let's have a look. Yeah. Joe Alwyn, Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. There's something about Jack Antonoff's production that feels so present and so far away all at once. It's kind of mind-blowing. And the way I'm hearing it now on Taylor's album, and Taylor's got a very present voice, very present. So it works so well. Oh my gosh, what a song, what a song. Okay, so felt like the song was about, spending August with this guy, yeah. And was the guy called August or was he called James? I can't remember. Oh, he is called James. He's called James. Okay, I think that's what I was getting complicated earlier. I was like, why is there someone called August in the mix? But it's just the month of August, right? Anyway, yeah, so I feel like she had spent the summer with August, but actually he belonged to someone else. She really liked him. Really liked him. Let's just have a little look at some lines I liked. Salt air and the rust on your door. I never needed anything more. Whispers of are you sure? Never have I ever before. So it feels like maybe, losing the old virginity. Why do I feel like a weird mum talking to their child about the birds and the bees? But I can see us lost in the memory. August slipped away into a moment of time because it was never mine. And I can see us twisted in bed sheets. August sipped away like a bottle of wine because you were never mine. Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? And so visceral and twisted in the bed sheets. It's just unlike it being in the summer and it being young love. It just feels so nothing can get better than that. Nothing can get better than that. It's adorable. But yeah, it went too soon. August went too soon. And it went too soon because he was never hers anyway. He was always going to be gone too soon. You're back beneath the sun, wishing I could write my name on it. Will you call when you're back at school? I remember thinking I had you. Oh, God. Thinking she had you. But she didn't because you little rascal, were playing the field. Can't blame him too much. He was a young boy, but still, these things should be taught, not to do. Back when we were still changing for the better, wanting was enough for me. It was enough to live for the hope of it all. Cancel plans just in case you'd call. That's such a thing. It's such a thing. Like when you're really, really crushing on someone, all you want is them. That is it. Friends, what are they? It's crazy to think about, especially when you're young, you know? And saying, meet me behind the mall, so much for summer love, and saying us, because you weren't mine to lose. You weren't mine to lose. No, you weren't actually. You naughty, naughty boy! Says here. August is another folklore track produced with Swift's frequent collaborator and friend Jack Antonoff, who called the song one of his favourite things they've ever done together. Totally understand that. It's got to be one of my faves of the Jack Antonoff ones. I think this might be one of my faves, actually. So powerful. Love it. I loved how it would surge in and out musically. I love how her voice would also kind of like fall in the back, come to the forefront, fall in the back, come to the forefront. And when they're in the back, it felt like they were thoughts, you know, and at the forefront they're a bit more direct. The song describes an ill-fated summer romance, similarly to Swift's earlier works like 2006 Tim McGraw. Fans believed it's the second part of Folklore's teenage love triangle, told from the point of view of the girl James cheated on with Betty. The storyline is preceded by Cardigan and followed by Betty. Oh, I'm interested to see what Betty sounds like now. And I'm also really excited to go back to Cardigan after hearing them all and like tying them in more. It's so cool. I love that she's done that. She's a real storyteller. She's got such a talent for it. I suppose, you know, coming from a country kind of singer background, that makes a lot of sense too. Anyway, actually, sorry, I have just seen something here as I was scrolling down to go to the next track on Genius. I saw there's a big bulk of text of what Taylor has said, and I started skimming it because I was like, oh, is there anything good in here? And yeah, it seems actually really filled with information. Basically, it says here, on a conversation with Aaron Dessner and Jack Antonoff for Folklore, the Long Pond Studio sessions, they said this. Jack said, it's a weird experience to work with you, and now Aaron can understand it. Thanks. It's like, here's a song, oh, here comes the bridge, but here's a better bridge. Okay, now a perfect bridge. And here's the thing after the bridge. But hearing the patchwork of everything coming together, I just love what you did on that song. Cute. She says, yeah, I wrote the outro in the vocal booth, and I've been kind of in my head. Calling the girl from August either Augusta or Augustine, what happened in my head was Cardigan is Betty's perspective from 20 to 30 years later, looking back on this love that was this tumultuous thing. That interests me because in that song, doesn't she say, and now you're coming back to me? Like, you know, you've done all this messing around, but now you're coming back to me. So like 20, 30 years later, this same boy, now man, keeps coming back to her. Like, he really loves Betty. Oh, that's interesting. In my head, I think Betty and James ended up together. So in my head, she ends up with him, but he really put her through it. But like August was obviously about the girl that James had his summer with, she seems like she's a bad girl, but really she's not. Oh no, I feel sad. She's a sensitive person who really fell for him, and she was trying to seem cool and seem like she didn't care because that's what girls have to do. Don't do this to me. She was trying to let him think that she didn't care, but she really did. And she thought they had something really real. And then he goes back to Betty, so the idea that there's some bad villain girl in any type of situation who takes your man is actually a total myth because that's not usually the case at all. Everybody has feelings, everybody wants to be seen and loved, and all Augustine wanted was love. Imagine if I just skipped past that and never read it. I would know nothing. Well, I would know a bit, but I know so much more now, but it broke my heart. Jack said, that's what I love about August. It's not a dream, even though it sort of sounds like it. The situation feels very close to me, getting swapped up like that. Taylor said, that whole song started with the fact that I'd written down in my phone, meet me behind the mall years ago, wanting to write it into a song. That is my favourite song now. That's my favourite song on the record so far. I love it. Okay, now we've got This Is Me Trying. Oh God, here we fucking go. Here we go. Here come the waterworks. I don't know if it's going to even be sad yet, but it might not be even sad. But let's see. I imagine it is. Saying that. All right, starting now. Kind of sounds psychedelic.
I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. Pulled the car off the road to the lookout. Could have followed my fears all the way down. And maybe I don't quite know what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know. They told me all of my cages cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that.
Sagittarius.
Pouring out my heart to a stranger, but I didn't pour the whiskey. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying. At least I'm trying. And it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. You're a flashback and a film reel on the one screen in my town. And I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. Maybe I'm fine. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. At least I'm trying.
Fuck off. That is absolutely astonishing. I love it. That one really just, oh my god. I feel like this album's getting better and better. This is me trying. The way that felt. Again, very Lana in the best way. Oh my god, but so Taylor though. Taylor doing it in her cute, adorable little pretty voice she has. It's a strong voice, but it's so pretty and it's so delicate. It's like lace. Oh my gosh. Like, you know, imagine like white lace. That's kind of what her voice is like here. Especially when she goes, at least I'm trying. Oh my god. She says, I've been having a hard time adjusting. I had the shiniest wheels, now they're rusting. I didn't know if you'd care if I came back. I have a lot of regrets about that. Pulled the car off the road to the lookout, could have followed my fears all the way down. Oh, maybe I don't quite know what to say, but I'm here in your doorway. I just wanted you to know that this is me trying. And oh, she's trying. She's trying to be better. She's trying to be good for this person. Maybe this person feels like they've not been connecting as much or has not been going well. And she's saying, this is me trying. This is what me trying looks like. I know it might not look how you want it to, but I promise you I'm trying. And they told me all of my cages were mental, so I got wasted like all my potential. Taylor, you're really going to have to stop. Because this is really doing me in. And my words shoot to kill when I'm mad. I have a lot of regrets about that. That's why I said Sagittarius, the old fire sign. I was so ahead of the curve became a sphere. Oh, she's just going in circles. What the fuck is this songwriting? Fell behind all my classmates and ended up here pouring out my heart to a stranger, but I didn't pour the whiskey. Yeah, but I didn't pour the whiskey. I wonder what that means. Like, maybe she is just saying pouring out my heart, but she didn't pour the whiskey. Maybe she didn't drink. Or something. Oh, it says, since these lines are about addiction, Swift could be implying that the song's subject found other ways to deal with their problems. Okay, hang on a minute. And then it says in the bridge, and it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. And it's hard to be anywhere these days when all I want is you. You're a flashback in a film reel on the one screen in my town. Oh. That's crazy. That's so powerful in the way she said, your flashback at a film reel on screen in my own town, or whatever she said. But it's hard to be at a party when I feel like an open wound. Yeah, of course. Like, it's hard to join in and have fun. I'm still caught up on that pouring whiskey line though. This line evokes an image of an alcoholic sitting at a bar rambling on about their problems to the bartender or another patron. Swift later sings about a similar scenario, Dear Reader, in which she sings, I won't read it, because I don't want to give stuff away, you know? Anyway, since these lines are about addiction, Swift could be implying that the song's subject found other ways to deal with their problems, hence pouring their heart out to a stranger, but at least they're not back into the rabbit hole that is alcoholism. Okay, so has Taylor gone through that where she, you know, got a little bit dependent on alcohol? Addicted to it, in fact? Let me know, because I don't know. But anyway, yeah, wow, what a song. Beautiful. Let's move on. We've now got illicit affairs.
Make sure nobody sees you leave.
Ooh.
Hood over your head, keep your eyes down. Tell your friends you're out for a run. Take the road less traveled by. Tell yourself you can always stop. What started in beautiful rooms ends with meetings in parking lots. And that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and longing stares, that it dies and it dies and it dies a million little times. Leave the perfume on the shelf that you picked out just for him.
Oh.
Take the words for what they are, a dwindling mercurial high. The first few hundred times. And that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and stolen stares, a million little.
Okay, this is interesting.
And you wanna scream, don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this godforsaken mess that you made me. You showed me colors you know I can't see with anyone else. Don't call me kid, don't call me baby. You taught me a secret language I can't speak with anyone else. And you know damn well, for you I would ruin myself a million little times.
Now that feels like a song about addiction. Call me crazy, but okay, that one felt like it was about addiction. And as someone who is an addict, felt that very deeply. I really did. And even if you're not an addict, you can still feel it deeply. I'm not saying it like, oh, as an addict, I have a special knowing, but it's just an experienced knowing. And maybe it's not about that at all. But let me share why I think so. Make sure nobody sees you leave. Hood over your head, keep your eyes down, tell your friends you're out for a run. You'll be flushed when you return. Take the road less travelled by. Tell yourself you can always stop. What started in beautiful rooms ends with meetings in parking lots. Say if it's like alcohol or any type of drug, it could be Coca-Cola, as in the white Coca-Cola. You know, starting off in these parties, it doesn't stay at the party, it ends up leaving the party because you've done so much of it and you want more, that you start getting it in parking lots and all of that. That definitely feels like it's about a drug. Come on. And that's the thing about illicit affairs, obviously illicit drugs. So yeah, that's the thing about illicit affairs and clandestine meetings and longing stares. This is what then makes me think it's about a relationship. These longing stares and stuff like that, and affairs. Maybe it's a sneaky romance too, which is kind of like being an addict, because you are sneaking around, not telling anyone what you're doing, engaging in illicit affairs with someone that you might not be meant to be having a relationship with. Or if it's in Taylor's case, maybe she just didn't want it public, something like that, I don't know. Anyway, it says it's born from just one single glance, but it dies and it dies a million little times. So that's interesting, because then I want to tie it back to drugs. When I think of, well, any drug will do this, but because I was an opiate addict, first it feels amazing, but then it slowly doesn't start to feel so good. So it dies. And then verse 2, leave the perfume on the shelf that you picked out just for him, so you leave no trace behind, like you don't even exist. In my head, it feels like spraying perfume around, maybe from like hiding the smell of a drug, maybe, but maybe also hiding a relationship, you know? Maybe it's an actual affair. You know, there's a crossover with different people. Who knows? Take the words for what they are. A dwindling mercurial high. A drug that only worked the first few hundred times. like most drugs, to be honest, because I was already thinking of it being about a drug, and then when she said the word drug, I was like, oh, okay. In the bridge, and you want to scream, don't call me kid, don't call me baby. That's interesting. That feels like, when she says don't call me kid, it feels like a parent talking. You know, hey kid, don't do that, and don't call me baby is like from like a relationship. Baby. It's like, don't condescend me, basically, whether it's parent or lover. And then she says, look at this godforsaken mess that you made me. The reason I want to tie it back to drugs again is because maybe the reason for taking drugs or drinking alcohol is to cover up trauma from either a parent or a lover. It says, you showed me colours you know I can't see with anyone else. Ah, God. Look at this idiotic fool that you made me. You taught me a secret language. I can't speak with anyone else. That also made me think of drugs. You're taking a drug, you've given me a feeling that I can't get anywhere else. This is it. I only know it with you, so I'm stuck with you. Anyway, let me go to the about section. Illicit affairs tackles the idea of infidelity. Yeah, see, that's what I also thought, which she first discussed in 2006, should have said no. In a decade since she released, should have said no. Swift's conception of infidelity has changed from one of a blanket condemnation to a significantly more nuanced and sympathetic take, recognising both the dwindling mercurial high that infidelity can bring, but also the heartbreak that it inevitably results in. Of course, but nothing about a drug, but I know that there is some metaphors with addiction there. I just feel it. It's too, well, to me, you know, to me it feels like that. But yeah, really good song. They've all been really good. It's so crazy how different this one is to Red, actually. It's still got Taylorisms, but like, you know what I mean? It is different. Oh yeah, number one, it's more modern and more folky, so yeah, like I feel very drawn to it. I'm sucked into the songs a little bit more. I'm kind of like in awe of the songs a bit more. Like, whereas Red, you know, it was really good lyrically and deep in loads of parts, but it also had such an adorable kind of feeling to it. It was very sweet and cute. This one has a bit more of like a, I don't know, I guess it's the maturity. I guess it's just the maturity, but I love it. All right, now we've got Invisible String. Let's go.
Green was the color of the grass where I used to read at Centennial Park. I used to think I would meet somebody there. I used to work, had to make a little money. Time, curious time, give me no compasses, give me no sign.
Sorry, I was just looking at the credits, whatever, and I was like, for some reason, I don't know whether that's a guitar or a harp. I mean, I think it's guitar, but it really is resembling a harp in lots of ways as well, with the plucking style and like the tone. How, yeah, Invisible String. How funny, it's called that. And I'm like, is it a harp or a guitar? Right, yeah, anyway, I'll go back a bit just so I'm focused.
When you were 16 at the yogurt shop, you used to work, had to make a little money. Time, curious time, give me no compasses, give me no signs.
I like that.
Were there clues I didn't see? All along there was some invisible string tying you to me. Ooh.
I like the way that moves.
Bad was the blood of the song in the cab on your first trip to LA. Bold was the waitress on our 3-year trip, getting lunchtime by the lakes. She said I looked like an American singer, cutting me open then healing me fine.
I love that.
I didn't see. And isn't it just so pretty to think all along there was some invisible string. Ooh, the string that pulled me out of all the wrong ones right into that dive bar.
That's nice.
Something wrapped all of my past mistakes in barbed wire. One single thread of gold tied me to you. Cold was the steel of my axe to grind for for the boys who broke my heart. Now I send their babies presents. Hell was the journey, but it brought me heaven. Time, wondrous time, give me the blues and then purple pink skies. And it's cool, baby, with me. All along there was some invisible string tying you to me.
Wow, the way that shifted. Beautiful song. And when I say beautiful, I really mean beautiful, very pretty, very delicate, very elegant, and quirky and bouncy in parts too. A little bit of fun as well. Oh, I do want to go for the lyrics of that one too. Just give me 1 sec, because my memory is running low on my computer. I'm not entirely sure why, but I need to sort it out somehow. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Getting medieval, la da 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 da. Literally, what am I doing? I'm here trying to delete things and just got distracted. This is me all the time, to be honest. I'm just always distracted by something. What's that? That's from something, right? Invisible String. Green was the colour of the grass where I used to read at Sentinel Park. I used to think, oh, I meet somebody there. Teal was the colour of your shirt. I'm getting the sillies. I don't like it when I get the sillies because I don't focus. I was literally so involved in that song, and now I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone with the wind, girls. Come on. Green was the colour of the grass where I used to read at Centennial Park. I used to think I would meet somebody there. Teal was the colour of your shirt. When you were 16 at the yogurt shop, you used to work at to make a little money. Okay, just setting the scene here, telling the story. Time, curious time. Give me no compasses, give me no signs. I love that. Were there clues I didn't see? And isn't it just so pretty to think all along there was some invisible string tying you to me? And when I click that, it says the invisible string refers to an ancient legend that originated in East Asia known as Red String of Fate. The legend speaks of an invisible red string tying two together, those who are meant to meet, no matter how far apart they live or how different their lives are. Taylor alludes to this myth to suggest that perhaps this relationship was destined to happen. These lines also echo a famous quote from Jane Eyre describing sentiments between two lovers. It is as if I had a string somewhere under my left rib tightly and inextricably knotted to a similar string situated in the corresponding quarter of your little frame. Is this... I think I've seen this letter. Because my sister has a tattoo saying, and I regret nothing. I don't know what it's like. And I don't resent you. It's the ending of one of the love letters that Jane Eyre sent her lover, who was actually a woman. So, pretty cool back in those times, eh? Even though not cool, because it would have been quite hard for them. But you know what I mean. It's cool to know that now. You know, it's cool because being gay didn't come out in the last 50... It's just come out in the last 50 years. Being gay has been since the dawn of time. So I like hearing about those things. Same with, what was it? Not George Orwell. Who did the Portrait of Dorian Gray again? Oh, well, is it George Orwell? Can't remember now. No, George Orwell did 1989 and Animal Farm. Oscar Wilde. Right, okay. Got there in the end. Anyway, bad was the blood of the song in the cab on your first trip to LA. You ate at my favourite spots for dinner. Bold was the waitress on our 3-year trip, getting lunch down by the lakes. She said I looked like an American singer, which is hilarious because she is one, but it's like the place where they are isn't so Hollywood. It's a bit more, hidden, private. So maybe not a lot of people would know who she was. Or it could be that the waitress did know she was a singer, but wasn't, maybe wasn't trying to be over the top about it. I don't know, it's kind of adorable in a way, rather than being like, oh, you're Taylor Swift, and just outing her. It's kind of like, you look like that. But she says Bold was the waitress. So she was saying, oh, she was brave saying that. Oh yeah, and it says here, when I click it, of course the waitress is correct. This is a tongue-in-cheek line about Swift getting recognised wherever she goes. It also gives proof to the speculation that the Lakes refers to the Lake District in the United Kingdom. Ah, very cool. The trip must have been in a foreign country since the waitress described the singer as American. The lakes are also an allusion to the bonus track in Folklore's deluxe version, The Lakes. Oh, very cool. I'm going to be listening to that one, by the way. Time, Mr. Cool Time, cut me up and then handing me fine. That's cool. It's true. And it's cool and it's true. Time is a healer. For sure. A string that pulled me out of all the wrong arms, right into the dive bar. Something wrapped all of my past mistakes in barbed wire. Chains around my demons. Wool to brave the seasons. One single thread of gold tied me to you. Crazy to think, isn't it? It's basically a song about fate. How you can meet someone and all the things of your past somehow don't feel so bad because you go, they all led me here. Yeah. It says a lot, when you think like that. It shows that you're happy in your present. Cold was the steel of my axe to grind. For the boys who broke my heart, now I send their babies presents. Bygones are bygones, time has healed. Gold was the colour of the leaves when I showed you around Centennial Park. Hell was the journey, but it brought me heaven. Exactly. Beautiful. Wonderful song. Yeah, time is a wonderful healer. If you let it be. Gotta let it be. And feel those things you feel. Anyway, next song is called Mad Woman. Interesting. Will it tie to the last great American dynasty in some way? The Mad Woman? Who knows? Not me, but I will. So we've only got 5 songs left. I'm going to try and really get through it then, because in 54 minutes is the premiere and I need to make dinner too. Alright, let's do it.
What did you think I'd say to that? Does a scorpion sting when fighting back? They strike to kill, and you know I will.
The fact that she's used so many...
What do you sing on your drive home?
The fact that she's used so much of her lower range throughout this album, it's like she has given me a present. But when I was listening to Red... And whenever she do a low tone, I even mentioned in the video, I'm like, oh, I love the low tones. Oh, and then in the album, she's just giving them to me. She's there like singing super low all the time. Like not all the time, but in a lot of the times. And I'm like, literally, this is what I want. This is so good. I love it when she sings like soft and high too. But something about these low notes in her tone of voice, just so good. And obviously... she must have known that because she's using it a lot here. Right.
What do you sing on your drive home? Do you see my face in the neighbor's lawn? Does she smile? Or does she mouth, fuck you forever? Every time you call me crazy, again more crazy. What about that? And there's nothing like a mad woman. What a shame she went mad.
It does tie back.
No one likes a mad woman. You made her like that. And you find something to wrap your noose around. And there's nothing like a mad
voice.
There's nothing like a man.
So much emotion.
What a shame she went mad. And you poke that bear till the claws come out, and you find something to wrap your noose around. And there's nothing like a man. Woman.
Wow.
Taking my time, 'cause you took everything from me. Watching you climb over people like me. She should be mad, should be scathing like me, but no one likes a man. Woman, what a shame she went bad.
Wow. That rhythm. God, who is this about? Right, I'm going straight to the about section for this one. I followed all the lyrics. Much like her previous songs Blank Space and Look What You Made Me Do, which she references throughout the song, Swift connects the concept of a delusional woman to her personal life, particularly her battles with Scooter Braun and Scott Borchetta over owning her music, and rapper Kanye West after he defamed her on his song Famous. Oh yeah, God. Some of the story may originate from Rebecca Harkness, who Swift based earlier folklore track The Last Great American Dynasty on. Yeah, that's what I thought. Right, let's see what else is said, because I need to know these things. Here's a question. How does Mad Woman relate to Swift's battles for her masters? Shortly before the release of her August 2019 album Lover, Swift became involved in a battle with entertainment mogul Scooter Braun, who purchased Big Machine Records along with the rights to her first 6 albums. In November 2020, news broke that Braun sold her masters to Disney affiliate Shamrock Holdings. Swift took to Twitter to explain her knowledge of the deal, sharing that Braun tried to manipulate her into the deal with him. So this is what she said. My team attempted to enter negotiations with Scooter Braun. Scooter's team wanted me to sign an ironclad NDA stating I would never say another word about Scooter Braun unless it was positive before we could even look at the financial records of BMLG, which is always the first step in a purchase of this nature. So I would have to sign a document that would silence me forever before I could even have a chance to bid on my own work. You have every right to be a mad woman. I mean, I know about this stuff, but I don't know the details. I just know the main bulk, you know? So, wow. Oh my God. And all the things she says, you know, now I breathe flames each time I talk, my cannons all firing at your yacht that you probably have from selling my records. They say move on, but you know I won't, and women like hunting witches too, doing your dirtiest work for you. It's obvious that wanting me dead has really brought you two together. So like the two, Scott and whatever the other one was called, who gives a shit, Scooter. Fuck off, Scooter. Get on your bike. Oh no, you're not cool enough to have a bike, you're just a scooter. Right, well, moving on, let's go to Epiphany. I'm loving this album so much. I think that's also why I'm getting all silly, because I'm really enjoying myself and then it's getting me excited. I literally just feel all like, because it's so good. Okay, Epiphany.
Keep your helmet, keep your life, son. Here's your rifle.
Ooh.
Crawling up the beaches now. Sir, I think he's bleeding out.
Definitely about
Some
war.
things you just can't speak about. With you I serve, with you I fall down. Something,
She's using that open tone again.
someone's daughter, someone's mother. Hold your hand through plastic now. and some things you just can't speak about. Only 20 minutes to sleep, but you dream of some epiphany. Just one single glimpse of relief to make some sense of what you've seen. What you breathe in, what you breathe in out. Only 20 minutes to sleep, but you dream of some epiphany. Just one single glimpse of relief.
What? So yeah, it definitely feels like it's about war. And that 20 minutes to sleep bit is so interesting. Because it's like only 20 minutes to sleep, and sleep is such a good way of like giving you that time to sift through, well, dreaming, you know, and REM sleep helps you sift through moments of your day. And if you're, you know, in the war, in the military or whatever, you don't get a lot of time to sleep, so you don't actually have a lot of time to for your brain to go through and all the horrible things you've seen. So you can't exactly like sort them out, and it will form into trauma because you don't actually have the time to actually go through it right then and there. Right then and there, you're surviving. You haven't got time to actually understand it all, but those 20 minutes of sleep is like relief to be away from it too. But yeah, interesting. Epiphany describes someone hoping to find peace in their dreams despite living in a world of chaos and violence in the midst of the pandemic. Yes, Swift explains that the song touches on a grandfather's experience in the military. Yeah, exactly. It totally what I thought. Just with the beaches and like the wounds and falling down together, and yeah, beautiful song. I won't say too much about it though. It is what it is. Now we've got Betty. Let's go. I'm ready, Betty.
Betty, I won't make assumptions about why you switched your homeroom, but I think it's 'cause of me. Riding on my skateboard when I passed your house, it's like I couldn't breathe.
So this is like James talking.
You heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe a word she says most times, but this time it was true. The worst thing that I ever did was what I did to you. Would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself, or lead me to the garden? In the garden, would you trust me if I told you it was just a summer thing? I'm only 17, I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. Betty, I know where it all went wrong. Your favorite song was playing from the far side of the gym. I was nowhere to be found. I hate the crowds, you know that. Plus I saw you dance with him. You heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe a word she says most times, but this time it was true. But if I just showed up at your party, would you have me? Would you want me? I'm only 17, I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. I was walking home on broken cobblestones, just thinking of you when she pulled up like a figment of my worst intentions. She said, James, get in, let's drive. Those days turned into nights, slept next to her, but I dreamt of you all summer long.
Oh man!
Betty, I'm here on your doorstep, and
The
we planned
production.
it out for weeks now, but it's finally sinking in. Betty, right now is the last time I can dream about what happens when you see my face again. Is make it up to you. bachelor party. Yeah, short a bachelor party.
Oh,
will you
key
have me?
change.
Will you love me? Will you kiss me on the porch in front of all your stupid friends? If you kiss me, will it be just like I dreamed it? Will it patch your broken wings? I'm only 17. I don't know anything, but I know I miss you. Standing in your cardigan, kissing in my car again. Stopped at a street light, you know I miss you.
Oh, I knew this was gonna make me sad. I knew it would make me sad. But in like a nice way, not like breaking me to pieces. It's like a... It's just really, she shows you all the perspectives of this love affair and how innocent it kind of is. And like, obviously he was so stupid to do it, but he was 17, he made a mistake and whatever. And I still feel sorry for the girl that he cheated on Betty with. I feel sorry for her too. I feel sorry for everyone involved. I know it's not real, but it is so real in so many ways, you know? Oh my god. Cuteness. Just total cuteness. Betty touches on the aftermath of August, which describes a summer love that was doomed from the start. Listeners learned that while the summer affair was going on, the speaker James was still dating their classmate Betty. The song takes a more feminist approach, portraying a narrator as a person named James who can't own up to their mistakes, all while Betty flourishes on her own and recognises her worth. Sonically, the song exudes a strong sense of nostalgia, delivering production and instrumentals reminiscent to Taylor's earlier projects, like Fearless and Speak Now, both of which were records written by Taylor in similarly naive adolescence. Betty's believed to be the third part of Folklore's teenage love triangle. Told from the point of James, the storyline is preceded by cardigan and August. Interestingly, James's gender is never explicitly stated. James and Inez mentioned in the pre-chorus are, in fact, the names of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' eldest daughters, leading some to believe that James could be a girl and that the teenage love triangle is, in fact, a sapphic love story. How funny! However, Taylor confirmed James' gender while explaining the song on country radio. James has lost the love of his life, basically, and doesn't understand how to get it back. Everybody makes mistakes, everybody really messes up sometimes, and this is a song that I wrote from the perspective of a 17-year-old boy. I've always loved that in music. You can kind of slip into different identities and you can sing from other people's perspectives. So that's what I did on this one, and I named all the characters in the story after my friends' kids. That's so cute. Right, anyway, let's move on. Peace. Ooh, that's nice and toasty. A lot of tension with that.
A coming of age is come and gone. Suddenly this summer it's clear. I never had the courage of my convictions. As long as danger is near, no, I could never give you peace. But I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm. If your cascade ocean wave blues come, all these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. The devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me.
Where is this going?
Your integrity makes me seem small. You paint dreamscapes on the wall. I talk shit with my friends. It's like I'm wasting your honor. And you know that I'd swing with you for the fences, sit with you in the trenches, give you my wild, give you a child.
Oh, she said that so vulnerably.
Family that I chose, now that I see your brother as my brother. But there's robbers to the east, clowns to the west. I'd give you my sunshine, give you my best, but the rain is always gonna come if you're standing with me. But I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm. If you cascade, ocean wave blues come. All these people think love's for show, but I would die for your secret. The devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me.
Wow, this one's so different. It really feels like she's trying to talk to someone. Rather than it being a song, she's really trying to send this out there to someone.
If I could never give you peace.
It's a letter. Interesting. Yeah. Nice, but different. And well, it was very simple with the instrumental with like obviously little moving parts and whatever. But yeah, the words. Peace is a calm tune describing Swift's maturation and changing view of romance. Like August 2019's Archer, Swift explains her shortcomings in their relationship and hopes that her partner will stay with her in spite of them. However, unlike her own personal flaws explored in The Archer, this song focuses on Swift's fame. I thought so when she said when it pours down, do something about standing in the rain with me. When that line came up, I was like, oh, is this actually about fame? And like being with someone whilst being famous. So yeah, interesting, pretty. And like I said, still felt like a massive statement. It felt like she was really like, this is the best way that I can get all of this out, you know, through my music. But I want there to be not a lot of music so that it's super clear and you can choose what you want to do with that. But I want you to hear this. I want you to know this. If you want to get into this with me, you have to know the negatives of it. But it's cute as well because she's like, you know, that I'd swing with you for the fences, sit with you in the trenches, give you my wild, give you a child. And the way she said that, give you a child. She said it like so like fragile. It was like, just felt like it meant a lot. Give you the silence that only comes when two people understand each other. Family that I chose, now that I see your brother as my brother, is it enough? But there's robbers to the east and clowns to the west. That reminds me of clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Maybe it is a reference. She said, I'll give you my sunshine, give you my best, but the rain is always going to come if you're standing with me. Wow, that is powerful. It felt like less of a song for us and more of a song for the person she's actually directly talking to as well. Right, now we've got Hoax. And then it's the lake and then, yeah, I have to get on with it. Right, Hoax.
My only one.
This is technically the last song though.
Gun. My eclipsed sun. This has broken me down.
Ooh.
Stood on the cliffside screaming, give me a reason. Your faithless love's the only hoax I believe in. No other sadness in the world would do. My best laid plan, your sleight of hand, my barren land. I am ash from your fire. Your faithless love's the only hoax I believe in. Don't want no other shade of blue but you. Sadness in the world would do. You knew the hero died, so what's the movie for? You knew it still hurts underneath my scars from when they pulled me apart. You knew the password, so I let you in the door. You knew you won, so what's the point of keeping score? You knew it still hurts underneath my scars from when they pulled me apart.
Is she talking about that scooter and scooter head person again? Kind of feels like it.
Darling, this was just as hard as when they pulled me apart.
Wow.
sadness in the world would do.
Those strings in the back. He really let those strings, if it's Jack Antonoff again, those strings really sat in the kind of midst of the piano keys. The very obnoxious piano keys, and I don't mean obnoxious in a bad way, just very in your face kind of, hello, I'm a piano and I'm playing. The strings were kind of like sitting within it, you know, within the reverb of it almost. Beautiful. Let's read this. An appropriate final track to an album filled with melancholy and darkness, Hoax narrates the struggles Taylor endures in a toxic relationship. Although she has been driven to the edge of hopelessness by her lover, Taylor is unable to let go of her doomed relationship. According to an interview with co-writer Aaron Dessner, Hoax and The One were the final songs written after the rest of the album was completed, and the two agreed that they should be added to the record as bookends. Musically, the song shares some similarities to Cardigan, the second track of the Folklore. Additionally, in conversation with Dessner during Folklore, the Long Pond studio sessions, Swift stated that the song was her first time exploring multiple themes in one piece. I think I said, what if not all of these feelings are about the same person? What if I'm writing about several different, very fractured situations? Like one is about love, and one is about a business thing that really hurt, and one is about a sort of relationship that I considered family, but that really hurt. Definitely had the moment of doubt. I had the moment of like, I don't usually do this. I usually know exactly what I'm writing about. And I was really happy when you kind of pushed me forward, like, nope, do the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Oh yeah, absolutely. So it is a kind of an accumulation of things. Yeah, that makes total sense. And yeah, great last song for that. And it's not this big grandiose last song like some of the other tracks that are quite grandiose. It's just a very simple, this is how it is. Again, matter of fact. Wow. Okay. Oh yeah, we've got one more. The Lakes. The Lakes. Bonus track. Let's go.
Is it romantic how all my elegies eulogize me? These hunters with cell phones take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off.
She's really using her sweet tone here.
What should be over, burrowed under my skin, in heart-stopping waves of hurt, name-dropping sleaze. Tell me, what are my words worth? Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die. I don't belong, and my beloved, neither do you. Those Windermere peaks look like a perfect place to cry. I'm setting off. I want auroras and sapro.
Wow, her voice.
I want to watch wisteria grow.
Oh, the way she's got her voice.
Bare feet, 'cause I haven't moved.
The vibrato.
In years. Bare feet, 'cause I haven't moved in years.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I want you right here with no one around to tweet it, while I bathe in cliffside pools with my calamitous love and insurmountable grief. Take me to the lakes where all the poets went to die.
This vocal is very Lana.
I'm setting off, but not without my muse. No, not without you.
That's so pretty. I'm so glad that was added to the album. That's a really powerful one. Like, the production was absolutely so delightful, really passionate. Oh my gosh, okay. Let's just go to the about section, because we ain't got time now. Per the unforeseen announcement of Taylor Swift's 8th studio album Folklore and a subsequent release of the album's tracklist, The Lakes is the featured bonus track on the eight physical deluxe editions of the album. It was previously unavailable on digital sales or streaming platforms until Taylor officially released a deluxe version of the album on these platforms on August 18th, 2020. On August 20th, 2020, Swift introduced a subdivision of the album in thematical chapters, and The Lakes is featured in the first group, Folklore, the Escapism chapter, together with five other songs. Okay, lovely. I thought it was very beautiful. And she's also said here, I think The Lakes sort of sounds like a testament of what I've wanted to escape from and where I saw myself escaping. We'd gone to the Lake District in England a couple of years ago in the 19th century. You had a lot of poets like William Wordsworth and John Keats would spend a lot of time there. There was a poet district. These artists moved there, were kind of heckled for it and made fun of for it as being these eccentrics and these kind of odd artists who decided that they wanted to live there. I remember when we went, I thought, man, I could see this. You live in a cottage and you've got wisteria growing up outside of it. Of course they escaped like that. Of course they would do that. And they had their own community of other artists who had done the same thing. I love wisteria. Really, really quite a strong smell to wisteria as well. Very beautiful smell. Not if you've got hay fever, of course. In my career, since I was probably about 20, written about this sort of cottage backup plan that I have. The Lakes is really talking a lot about relating to people who hundreds of years ago had the same exit plan and did it. I went to William Wordsworth's grave, just sat there and I was like, wow, you went and did it. You just did it. You just went away and you kept writing, but you didn't subscribe to the things that were killing you. And that's really the overarching thing that I felt when I was writing Folklore, is I may not be able to go to the Lakes right now or go to anywhere, but I'm going there in my head and this escape plan is working. I thought this song would be the perfect way to slot the last puzzle piece in, right when people least expect it, because Hoax, as the ending song for the record, I thought was interesting for a couple of weeks, but then I wanted to actually come in with the real last song of the record, which is The Lakes. That's kind of overarching theme of the whole album, of trying to escape, having something you want to protect, trying to protect your own sanity and saying, look, they did this hundreds of years ago. I'm not the first person who's felt this way. They did this. Beautiful. I'm really glad that is the last song then. I really am. Makes so much sense. And it is quite a beautiful closer, isn't it? It does, and I feel like that one matches up to the first song more in a way. Yeah. Anyway, fantastic album. I have been recording for 3 hours and 23 minutes, so it's going to be another long edit, but when it's out, hopefully you enjoy it. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. If you would like to become a patron, please do. It helps me out so much, because all this 3 hours I've done, you know, I did it for free. But if you want to change that, be my guest. But if you can't do that, please don't feel the pressure at all. I just want you to like, comment, subscribe. I'll pressure you to do that. And share as well. But yeah, anyway, I shall see you next time. Bye.